Miami, Miami, Miami. It feels like Miami.
Welcome to the Miami Heat Beat Postgame Show. I'm your host, Giancarlo Navas, back from vacation. All-Star break happened. I wasn't here. Bond and crew and all, Omar and Alf, everybody together. I'm back. Heat lose. I'm by myself today. I think Omar's going to come join me later. Chat is I could see that chat's excited. This team, I can't. Fuck life. Fuck everything, dude. So that's what's going on in the chat. We have Overzeal saying they don't know how to seize a moment at all. Big A Seed saying I've got some serious SPO issues tonight. Zach Martin's drum says I expected the L all day today anyway. Other people are like, stay on vacation, G is better, I promise. Let me tell you something. It was quite nice. Not All-Star break was nice. The Heat couldn't hurt me. Cardeliana says hello and goodbye. People are upset. D Sizzle says this team sucks more than Bonnie Blue. It's a lot of sucking. Hey, congratulations on the pregnancy, Bonnie. Just let me God bless. Listen, somebody has to show up today. Cherry on top is that Tyler Hero will be starting again. Now, he did play very well. I think today's a funny day because we can talk about, and we've gotten into so much of what this team does tactically. As Super Chat rolls in, before I get into it, CM201, I missed you, big dog. How you been? I miss seeing you. Good to see you, man. It says stupid turnovers, lack of effort in the first half, lazy closeouts, shot IQ down the stretch again, spamming threes late again. Nobody can guard the perimeter. Wasted a great BAM game that they did. Can't believe this is them genuinely trying to win. That last part is kind of what I want to get to, CM, because we could talk about the tactics and like what this game meant. Again, big shout out for the super chat. We love and appreciate that kind of support around here. That keeps the lights on and keeps us going. But to talk about them as an on-court product is one thing. I want to talk about them culturally today because today, if you are the Miami Heat and you believe that making the play-in, getting out of the play-in, making the playoffs, being competitive every single night is the most important thing, today is one of the most important games remaining. The Sixers are 6. They're ahead of you in the standings. You can, with the win today, you could have put yourself in a really good position going forward with another game against Philly at home coming up to look really good, to get out of the play-in, to be a solid playoff team, to maybe draw a wounded Knick team in round 1. I'm telling you that I don't agree with that thinking. But if you subscribe to that, today was an important game. And that first half, especially that second quarter, I did not see an urgency. I saw a lot of bullshit. And I just think that this team is this game was perfect for kind of what's going on today because they play a competitive first quarter. The second quarter, they get fucking run out. Then the third quarter, they put some shit together. Then they play a competitive fourth quarter and just don't have enough juice at the end of the game. That was the game, right? And that's kind of been their season. They have moments where you say, wow, they have a real team here. And then they run out of gas. And then, they get run over and clobbered. And then, you kind of look late and you're like, okay, well, maybe there's something. Oh, never mind. This is cyclical. This is who they are. Zach Martin's jump says, imagine that third quarter effort through the whole game. Listen, and sometimes shots aren't going to fall. Tyler Hero really struggled in the first half against drop. And I liked the shots he was getting. I mean, he was missing a ton of shit that I'm like, that's a good look. I like that. It's tough for Tyler. I actually thought, I was like, I like his decisions. And then the second half, he made way more shots. I thought he had a good game, but so some that stuff, whatever. But some of the effort, some of the defense. I mean, the defense did tighten up, and I think part of that was Embiid guy gas. But big guys, come on, Jonas, you can't let Embiid spin on you in big 2026. You know what I mean? They're just the Sixers were getting away with cheeky nonsense, and I think it was kind of frustrating. CM says play a decent second quarter and they win this game. Yeah, let me see what's the exact scoring margin. I'm going to pull this up right now. What's the exact scoring margin that they lost by in the second? So they lost 22-37, but then they turn around and win the third quarter 34-26, and they actually win the fourth quarter by a point, 26-25, and they lost the first quarter, 36-35. So, like we said, it was a close game. Obviously, like they lost by 7. But that's a team that you're competing against. That's like your peer, quote unquote. Like you're in the same. Like if you're doing tiers of teams, Miami and Philadelphia would be in the same tier, and you have to like really like try to win those games, especially when you're like so serious about winning. Norm went down in the game. Hope he's back. Obviously, like you hate to see that. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. You don't like to see Norm go down, obviously, but the Powell and Tyler numbers together. I mean, it's been talked about on Twitter a lot. When those guys have played together, they have not looked good. The lineup data is so stinky. So is it the worst thing that he didn't play? Obviously, you want him to be out there, but I thought Tyler was playing really well and kind of allowed them to get in their game, especially in that second half. I thought Bam was really good. I thought defensively he really kind of keyed in that second half and was fantastic. I thought, Wiggins showed some promise. I love how Pell Larson kind of wanted the maxi assignment at the end of the game and did really well. I mean, Bam, your leading scorer tonight, 50% from the field, 4 of 8 from 3, 29 big points and 14 rebounds. And Tyler had 25 too, which is another big game. In that third quarter, I saw Brady Hawk tweeted this. The Heat had scored 28 points in the first 9 minutes of the third quarter. 23 of those points were from Hero and Bam. It's not every day that you get that kind of performance from your two, really like the two cornerstones of your franchise. Like those are the guys that have been to the finals. Those are the guys that have been through everything with this group. So it's frustrating. And I think as a fan, as I said, like before, this was the one that they had to win because this is what they are selling the fan base, right? Like they're selling, the Heat are saying our plan is to win this game. Our plan is to beat the teams in our tier. Our plan is to take advantage of the fact that other teams aren't trying to win and that we're going to rise above them. And with good culture, with a good environment, with healthy habits, we're going to use that to propel ourselves and our development into greatness, right? And some of that is, hey, win today, get out of the play-in. A lot of these teams aren't trying. Like if we look at the standings, like Orlando has some fucking issues. Let me tell you something. You want to talk about a team that should be embarrassed to where they are in the standings? It's them. But Miami should be better than the Sixers. And Charlotte's right on their heels. Charlotte's 2 games back. Charlotte's won 7 of 3. Miami's dropped 2 in a row. Atlanta's 2 games back. Barely hanging on in the play-in. The Bucks, watch out for the Bucks. 8-2. Bucks have won a lot of games. They beat Cleveland, first team to beat Cleveland with James Harden. They're flying. They're on their way. They are on their way. So Miami, I'm going to tell you something. There's 5 teams right now vying for that play-in spot with the way that Milwaukee's playing. And if Miami doesn't really shape up, they might drop out. I know that the Bucks are 4.5 games back. And you might say, oh, well, that's a lot. But I mean, we've seen this team go on 6-game losing streaks. Like that surprised you if the Heat go 2-3 weeks without winning a game? Would it? I don't know. So it's like, it's just upsetting because like this was a real big swing moment for them. Just as that ain't happening. I don't know. I just don't know. But they, today was a big swing moment and they didn't take it. They didn't take it. I'll bring in Omar. So I ramble for 10 minutes. We got our producer Omar kind of hanging out here. Omar, I know you're behind the scenes. I'm alone today, so I thought I'd bring the big dog in. You're saying don't let go of the rope. You really care about this team and winning every game. Are you mad today?
I was mad in the second quarter when I thought we were about to get mollywopped. Because there are certain losses that piss me off. Like the Milwaukee loss pissed me off. We all know what losses, quote unquote, piss us off. It's when we get mollywopped and blown out or when we lose games to teams that we shouldn't. And I thought this was going to be like a 25-point embarrassment and we were going to lose all the momentum. But then the third quarter happened. And, it kind of sucked that Pele got hurt. Not Pele, Powell got hurt. But then Bam, and he's been doing this for like 90% of the games over the last month. Bam does this thing every season where he just becomes randomly the player that we want him to be with his aggression. He starts taking advantage of mismatches. There's a guy smaller than 6'7" on him, and there's this stretch throughout every season where he just goes, boom, all right, I'm going to back him down into the paint. I'm going to use my footwork. I'm going to get the up and under, or I'm going to foul. And watching Bam and Tyler kind of, it was kind of like, when like a person's in recovery from addiction, and then you start teasing them and giving them drugs, because now Tyler Hero and Bam, like you said, our two cornerstones are just going off and bringing us back into the game. And so am I upset at this loss? Not as much anymore. The reason is because we took the lead. We didn't just get close. It wasn't a perpetual effort to get down from 10. It was a close game for most of the fourth quarter. And we had the lead. And there's a couple stupid bounces that went the opposite way. And this was an important game. We needed this game. But pay attention to what Bam's been doing, especially offensively. Defensively, he was a monster. Speaking of defense, watching Wiggins lock down Edgecombe for that one play was awesome. But I think that, it's disappointing. We needed this one. Thankfully, it's only tied up 1-1. We had one against them earlier this year that we won. And we definitely are going to need to win that one back in Miami. But Bam was out of his mind today, and that's really encouraging. And I just hope that he's not giving us false hope and that he can sustain this for the rest of the season, because 29 points, 10 for 20 on field goal attempts. The fact that he's taking 20 shots a game is awesome. 4 of 8 on three-pointers. 5 of 8 from the free throw line. Okay, 14 rebounds. And how many turnovers? He only had 1 turnover. That's awesome. I mean, more of that.
I guess the thing with him, though, is he's at the point that he is who he is. And when he has a good game, I just look at it as he has a good game, not, this is a building block for development. I guess that's
you notice he does this, but he does have a stretch where he's not like there's good games from Ben.
Smaller teams. Philly's a pretty small team, especially in the front court. So it's typically those matchups. And I think we have the dunk he had too, where they were playing fast and look, they're in the open court.
This was so awesome.
Philly doesn't have a lot of bigs out there. Bam's able to be his one man, get to the basket. He's stronger than Kelly Oubre. And by the way, and one finish, great recognition. Love the Euro step, big guy move.
He even got there.
Yeah. But it's typically against he can do this against small and like Chad's saying, he fried his ass. That was to me the play of the game. And when he did that, I thought, what was the score here? It'll be here. I thought they could win this. Yeah, I was they cut it to 10, and I go, wait a second, is this have we are we gonna stabilize here? You know what I mean? And I guess they did make the run in the third, but.
First of all, real quick, someone said Omar in his Ben Affleck era. You have no idea how high of a compliment that is to me right now, as a filmmaker, as a Batman fan.
You look.
You are
You like Ben Affleck's Batman?
Yes, but we don't have to go over this because I have more Heat thoughts to get over. And once you get me started on Batman, I'm not going to be able to stop. And this is a Heat podcast.
I just got distracted.
No, but just how a typical good game for Bam would be 18 to 22 points and 7 to 10 rebounds, right? But when he's putting up, anytime he's putting up over 26, 27 points and he's getting 14 rebounds over the last few seasons, he has this random stretch. It's a month long where he's just averaging
we've been here. Yeah, we've seen him do this.
But this one is timed well in a way where it's okay, it's happening a little bit later and it's sustainable. It's sustaining for right now, and hopefully. Can he sustain this into the playoffs? We're not saying this is the player he's going to be, but can he sustain this for a few more weeks? Because, we didn't win against Philly today, but if he's playing like this before the inevitable drop down happens, we could rack up some wins against some very easy teams that we have on our schedule. I don't think 6 is out of reach for us at all.
I love how you're
This Bills
still
got
like
tough games coming up.
you're locked in. You're positive about this. Chat says Omar looks like filled out Tom from MySpace.
Less of an enthused compliment for me. I don't love that. Don't love that one.
The Miami Heat, according to assistant producer Ollie, the Miami Heat are 1-23 when trailing after 3 quarters this season.
What the fuck, Ollie? I told you not to bring that up. I literally said, do not bring that up.
Ollie, I know that this may be a tall task. Can you find what the 1 was?
I think it was the OKC game, right?
Ollie's apologizing. Was it?
It was the OK. I think it was the OKC game.
That game was a fever dream.
That fact that you just read is what I like to call alternative facts. Okay, we don't need that one,
dude.
That one's irrelevant. Erroneous.
I did a hammered post-game show that day. I was on Mars, bro.
Dude, we were having a good time.
Well, no, I mean I was on Mars. That like I'd had way too much to drink. Alf was in town, and so was Tiff, and we had a little too much fun at Regatta. If you know, you know.
We're only one game away from having that kind of fun again.
You're so locked in, bro. You're so fucking locked in. So a couple things from this game that I thought were interesting as we move away from some of the macro things. I really did not like their zone today, and I didn't like Hawkins at the top of the zone. And it would look very goofy when Hawkins is at the top of the zone, and then Embiid's there, and then Hawkins is like pushing Embiid back. And I actually get it in theory, because you're like, okay, well, if we put our size in the back, I actually think it was more about Maxey than Embiid, because with Embiid in the zone, he catches a ball, you're going to swarm him anyway. So you're not really worried about kind of him like taking advantage of that size, because you know you're going to crash whether you're man or your zone. And it was really to kind of like create a wall in the back for Maxey. You're not really, they should have been a little more concerned with his pull-up shooting, but they were like, okay, well, we're really going to try to shut off his water at the rim. And I didn't love it, Omar. I didn't particularly.
It worked for a few plays because, Hawkins was like active enough to get his hand into Embiid's eyes on a few of those shots, but then there were just like
I thought it was one of their better. I thought it was one of Hawkins' better defensive games,
and he's
in the second half.
And this is encouraging because he's kind of not been playing. He's been pretty quiet the last few games, and you're wondering like, oh no, is this another like dip that's happening to the wrong player at the wrong time? That because we need what he brings off the bench, and I'm glad that he was able to, he made a few clutch threes later in the game. Like that was cool. He had some doinks too. Do you like the cast minutes over Drew Smith to lock up Maxey in an important game like this?
I want Casper to play at all times.
Because like supposedly we have point of attack defense, but like there was no point of attack because Maxey was just bombing threes from 30 feet in the first quarter, and it's like we didn't like move up on him until like the second quarter when someone probably told everybody that he had 20 points on us in the first quarter. Like I saw as soon as the second 3 went in, I'm like, okay, you shouldn't sag off him that much. But I guess they were more worried about his driving. But then he dropped 5 threes on us in the first quarter.
I wonder if Drew Smith didn't play because, I wonder if he didn't play because of the left calf soreness that he has kind of been lingering with him, or if it was more like, okay, Jonas, let's give it the old try.
No Myron Gardner in his place though, so I felt like it was Myron. Like I thought Myron would have gotten a couple minutes to try and be like, all right, no, we can't stop Maxey right now. Like, why not throw him in the second?
I haven't been on since Myron Gardner got in a fight with Scottie Pippen Jr.
Good times.
What a moment that was.
I was confused as to like Simone Fontecchio's minutes were weird.
I didn't hate them. I think there's like a place for him on the team.
We needed this one, man. We needed it, and like we had it, and I'm wondering what broke down for us at the end in the fourth quarter. Like, as you're watching the fourth quarter, let me ask you this: like, we have Wiggins playing excellent deep, and he's playing well offensively as well, right? We've got Bam playing well, Tyler's playing well, Davion not so much, but Pele is doing his thing. At what point did the game shift in the fourth for you, and why couldn't we pull it out?
I think like you kind of see some of their issues on both ends, right? Where I think Miami is a team that they don't have problem solvers on offense. And I think Tyler's the closest thing to a problem solver that you have. And I thought he played well and he had a huge three to put them up. But
Yep.
after that, he missed. I mean, in that fourth quarter, in that kind of like clutch stretch, some guys missed some pretty makeable baskets. And I don't even think that Philadelphia presented anything too difficult for them to solve, but you gotta like hit some of those shots. And then on the other end, and I think today was kind of really defined by how wonky their defense was. I think over helping on drives, you get I think it was Oubre hit a big three and then Embiid hit the
Every
big three.
time. He always kills us every time.
Yeah, CM's like we didn't score after Tyler hit that last three. Oh, there was a lob that Wiggins who it was Yakachonis or somebody threw
Wiggins, and he got fouled on it.
yeah, like you just gotta finish that. I think like those are kind of the plays that kind of like it's I everybody knows I'm wearing a Liverpool hat. I watch a lot of soccer. I love soccer. It's my first love. And a lot of times, like what you guys like, what makes it to like, the Twitter feeds and the highlights and all that are like the goals and the scoring. And it's never like the build up. And sometimes like you do something like the small things you do in a game start to have ripple effects later and later and later. And a lot of times it's like those little things that you do, whether it's like, okay, I know I'm going to make this run into the box, or I know to flash into this space because, the defense is playing X, Y, Z, whatever. And those are the kind of things that really flip games. And I think the issue with the Heat is that what the Sixers were doing was they knew they were doing things all game off the drive and kick, and they knew where to push the buttons. And at the end of the game, they went back to what they knew worked. They went back to all that little work that they had done throughout three quarters. Okay, I know that the help is coming here, and I'm going to have – because it was the same wing both times. I know this is where their help is. I know if I run here with this screen angle, blah, blah, blah. And that was just kind of it. And I think Philly – I walked away from that game feeling like I thought Philly was a better team.
Really?
I did.
Okay.
I felt
okay.
But you know what's funny? I think that Miami got into that game because of Philly's weaknesses. Like their inability to defend, their Embiid's just inability to fucking play a real game for the whole time, even though he absolutely destroyed them. By the way, he came in, he hit that three, put him with the over for points that he was projected.
But we don't do overs. We don't do overs on Miami.
No, I'm not. This is not price picks. I'm just saying the general NBA community was saying the overs, right? So all that. And that's kind of where I'm at with them. So I think that late in that game, it was really the drive and kick game and those important baskets that got Philly kind of that win. And on the other end, Miami couldn't, that last 10% around the basket, getting those important scores and those leverage moments is where they didn't have it. And I feel like that's pretty generic, but bro, again, it was miss layup. It was like get to the basket, miss over help. It was Wiggins not finishing the and one. It's, open threes, whatever. I don't care about that. Like that's make or miss, but
there was that Tyler, like when he got the scoop that came out in the fourth quarter that rolled off the rim. That would have been a big one. But there was one play in the first quarter that I thought I was like really impressed with, where it was like Bam was in the corner and Embiid comes out to him. Bam recognizes that Embiid's slow as hell, and Bam just literally like a flash, just like circles around him, almost comes out of bounds. Then goes up, gets fouled, and one layup under the rim. And I was like, okay, so that's Bam's. That's the strategy. Whenever Joel is coming up on Bam, Bam is just going to run him off the floor and gas him. And he was gassing him for the first quarter. And then I feel like in the second half, even though we were coming back into the game, you never saw Bam, even on the few times when they decided to have Joel match up with him. Bam was either swinging the ball or he was he was going for a three, and there was no like, let's make Joel Embiid work. And that's what kind of frustrated me about what happened there is like Joel Embiid maybe isn't like have enough energy to even do anything in the fourth quarter or in the later minutes of the fourth quarter, like when he hit that killer three. If you are just working him and making him run and making him have to literally guard you, and you're blowing past him every time, and I think that could have created an advantage. It did create an advantage that they never really exploited in the fourth quarter. And it's so weird that they weren't just doing that, because like as great as Embiid is defensively and even offensively, like when he's
not defensively, not anymore. No.
As great as Joel Embiid is in whatever way you want to put him, when he's gassed, and Bam does not get gassed like that. And he had the energy, and also he had the mismatch to run past him on numerous opportunities and make Embiid adjust to him. And I'm just like kind of frustrated that wasn't capitalized in the fourth quarter, because I really think that could have changed the game.
I thought they played the Ware at center lineup at the end a little too long too. I think Bam,
because they were on a run. They just wanted to see how it was going. Yeah,
I know, but like I think with they took it to like 3 minutes left in the fourth, and I was like, are they just gonna close with this? And then but they missed they Philly scored twice, and then Spo yanked it. But I would have liked Bam to kind of come in a little sooner. Eric on tonight's game, on the clutch struggles, says the Heat will be better at winning clutch games going forward. Quote, I have to look at the one Tyler tried to scoop with his left hand. We might have been able to get something better out of that, but he was terrific in that second half. We're going to improve in that area. There'll be a lot more clutch games in these last 20 plus, but we'll continue to get better in them and win games. And that's kind of like to the 10% I'm talking about. It's like you missed that, but like, you could have, it's those little things. And I'm glad that Eric kind of said the same thing I did. It's like, it's those things. It's like, can you get a better shot, or can you finish that? Can you get over that hump? You make one or two plays, and then the game's different, right? If
I
you
don't
take
think
a lead,
this is that they're that much better. If they are, I don't know. I personally don't believe.
I think Philly's better.
It's a little bit better. They're not much better.
I think Miami has like more viable players on the roster, but I think Philly has like the more top end talent. And sometimes in these clutch games, the team with the top end talent is going to win, right? Like Maxey made the plays at the end of the game that won them the game. Right.
And I guess
Miami doesn't have the guys to target Maxey on defense to be like, all right, well, I'm going to put you, which is why like my issue with him and Tyler and those guys is like, you can't, like, he's a target. And I think when you let guys off the hook, when you let a team play a guy like that, you let them off the hook. Like when you don't punish a team for that, you let them off the hook. It's why I get really mad at whenever teams let Jalen Brunson off the hook. Right. Or players like that. You cannot ever let those guys off the hook, especially when they're so important to their team on offense. CM says they let Embiid get away with holding when he was hobbled in gas. I'm sorry, it always annoys me. It'll get better, but when will it? He's right. He's talking about Spo there.
I'll tell you when it gets better. It gets better when we're winning the 3 or 4 game winning streak that we were on, and you didn't say anything. No one was saying it. It was better then.
Zach Martin's drum says Sixers were awful last year and were able to add Edgecombe and Embiid and suddenly look seriously improved. It's all on top. It's all on the top end talent. Yeah, absolutely. 100% agree on that. It's, it's a big AC said, yay, more clutch games to lose. When will the pain end? When will it end?
If only we had Norris Cole.
We have a couple segments today. We have 2 today, actually. So we're gonna get into some did you work on that shot? And then we're gonna get into returning a segment.
What kind of shot is that?
No. Oh my goodness, Valentine!
No.
Whoa!
Have you ever shot that shot?
Looking for Steph. Now Draymond's got it.
What did he do that for?
Draymond.
Do you work on that shot?
Yeah! Oh!
When?
It's Cody Martin, you gotta hit it! Oh!
Step back, one-legged.
To Bargnani. What is he doing?
What kind of shot is that?
Step back, one-legged.
I sent you the Cody Martin shot. I saw there was a LaMelo highlight package on Instagram, and I just sent it to you without context.
It was fantastic. It made my day.
It made me so happy. All right, Omar. So we have a few. I'll let you introduce them today.
Okay, so the first one we have is a Khalil Ware wonder move.
All right.
That I'm wondering, do you think he works on this one in particular? Look at that.
There's no chance.
Can we go back on that?
There's no chance.
the concentration would let you think that maybe he works on that shot, but
I'll give him a pass because I think he felt contact. And like he drive, which I like the drive. I thought they defended it well, and I think he just has to kind of. Tyler should cut. That should be a pass.
Yep. Okay.
That should be a pass.
I think the new wrinkle we need to add into this is we need to issue a judgment on each play on if we think they actually do in fact work on that shot.
Justice would have been cool if it went in.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
Exactly. All right, we have another one. What's this one, Omar?
This is a campaign airplane air ball.
I like how Cameron Payne. Nobody just calls him Payne. It's always campaign.
This is
his shot is so ugly. I don't like the way he shoots the ball. He's
got the kind of shot that
he shoots like a middle schooler.
Like he's that type of player that will like have a bunch of those, and then it's like playoffs, and he's the random person that goes off and starts hitting those.
I don't like the way
he did that last year for the Knicks, I think. Oh my god.
I'm not a fan. All right, what do we got here?
I don't think he works on that. Right here, we have the hero sidestep one-legged. The shot clock would fool you into thinking that this was the last second, but the shot clock still had 7 or 6 seconds left, and and he knew it, and he made a deliberate decision to go for the highlight reel. He does work on this shot, and it makes me mad.
Chat says that campaign looks like he shoots like he's wearing jeans.
All right, let's look at this. Okay. Jesus Christ. Tyler.
But you know what? I actually do think he works on that. He likes that shit.
I think he works on that too, and that pisses me off. Stop working on that one.
He wants that shit. Look at it. He's like, oh, I got this. I got to my spot.
Air Jordan, no.
And he watched that shit because he thought it was going in. I know you, Tyler. All right, we got one more.
He's definitely saying to Bam, like, I got you on the next one on the way back.
I got you on the next one.
This is going to be
TF said Tyler pulled a Terry for no reason.
That was a Terry shot. This one is going to be a Jaime Jaquez Jr. doink right here.
I love it. I love a good doink.
This is a doinky.
Front right.
No, nothing. Just straight backboard.
I don't remember this. It was in the fourth? I don't remember that.
Fourth quarter. He made up for it later, but just right into the left side of the backboard. Like, not even. Does he work on that shot, G?
Unfortunately, yes. Fuck. You know that you know that he does.
It's not looking good for us down the stretch then.
It's not looking great. I do want to bring back an old segment because I think we're getting close to this potentially being relevant.
Okay.
It's a Tankathon.
It's time to tank.
Miami's not yet in the lottery. But if you look closely, they're right at the edge, folks. We're right there. We're almost back. Chat's like Tankathon's back.
What are you doing?
We're almost back. I know, Omar. I know I know you love this team and you care about winning. But look,
I need to do it.
We're almost there. No, listen. I'm just saying.
Leave right now.
I'm just pointing. Right now. Chat saying Charlotte help. I'm just saying. There's a thin blue line between us and the lottery.
What the fuck?
Right there, dude. Charlotte's the thin blue line. Charlotte's the thin powder blue line. Zach Martin's drum says, unfortunately, we can't trust this team to lose to the play-in. The play-in goes, but there's no Chicago now. Chat said the Heat are ethically tanking. Listen, I'm just saying. We have to keep our options open. Be careful now. Careful now.
Bruh, I can't. This is all right. So explain. Get me hyped up for Tankathon. I try to hype you up on the hope of not letting go of the rope. I should return the favor. Okay, hype me on the Tankathon.
I don't want to watch.
Give me the pitch.
Yeah, because then we have to go to Detroit and watch the Pistons fans who haven't won anything since 2004. Dance all over us, make fun of us, make jokes as their team wins in 4 games, and they have to call us unk and loser. And you don't want that. You don't want to watch. You don't want Jaden. You don't want Beef Stew fucking taking Myron Gardner and breaking him at the scorer's table. You don't want that. I'm telling you, you don't. It could happen. I could see Beef Stew, Myron Gardner starting some shit, and Beef Stew picking up Myron Gardner and breaking him across the scorer's table as Eric Reed watches in horror, and John Crotty goes to hide under a table. That could happen.
Hiding Crotty.
It could happen. It could happen. So we don't want that. We want a nice. This is supposed to be a good draft. Do Lopez says ethically tanking is what we should officially call it. I agree. Big AC said this is how Charlotte pays us back for the Terry pick. I've also said my theory. If the Heat get in the lottery, Adam Silver is going to freeze the envelope. He owes us.
And
he owes us.
And you're saying, you're telling Omar that no playoffs this year?
I'm just saying, just one year.
Playoffs is good. Omar,
we don't. Chat's right. We don't want Duncan Robinson putting the dagger. You don't want that. You don't want to watch. You don't want to watch that.
You're starting to. I don't know if I.
I don't think you want that. I don't think you want that. I think we want to cheer for Detroit in peace. I think if the Heat don't have to play the Pistons, we can just be like, "Yay, Duncan Robinson! Yay, beat the Knicks! Yay, Cade Cunningham! Yay!"
And you're saying I will be happier. No playoffs?
Yeah, you will be. You will be because you don't have to watch them lose, and you could just be like, "Okay, they tried their best this season, and it just wasn't enough." They didn't.
What about culture?
It's okay. You'll have culture next year with the hopefully the number one pick in the draft.
But body fat and
that's for the next generation. This generation, it's fine. They can take a year off. Haven't they earned it? Hasn't Spo earned a little extended vacation? Maybe Spo's so grumpy because he's always fucking coaching an extra month.
Happy Spo next year? Playoffs next year?
Happy Spo. Think about it. Spo spend some time with his kids, enjoy, maybe go jet skiing. Spo probably likes jet skiing.
Playoffs next year?
That's what I'm saying. Maybe the finals next year. Who knows? Maybe we draft our own Wemby. CM says I'd rather cheer for Duncan.
I feel dirty.
Than watch the Heat lose in 4. That's what I'm saying. We're just trying to convince you. We don't have to listen. We don't have to do this. You don't have to get there today. It's little by little. If everybody's gone to therapy, everybody knows it's just a process. It'll take some time.
Heat 5?
Heat 5.
My brain's like malfunctioning.
Heat in 5. Chat says pitch is trade ban for. Okay, we're not pitching anymore. We're trying to get Omar. We're trying to get Omar to the ledge. We don't need to take him to. We don't need to shoot him into space.
What if Heat Knicks though?
You don't want that. You don't want to lose to the Knicks. I actually don't want the Knicks because I don't want to take the chance that we lose to the Knicks. And you don't want that either because you don't want to make.
I know, but Jalen Brunson, you just said he's going to get exposed.
You don't want
Myron Gardner.
We don't have a guy to do that. We don't have a guy to do that.
Gardner.
Myron Gardner
is going to snap his knee.
DMP coach's decision today. So
Heat in 5 years, Omar from Del Lopez right here.
Heat in 5 years. That's a good timetable. Happy Beno Udrih Day. Today's the day that Beno Udrih
gave up money for
the franchise for seemingly no reason. I still to this day I don't understand. Shout out to Beno Udrih.
What did the Arisons give him like a sailboat or something instead that he could liquidate later? Like what happened there?
Your guess is as good as mine. Maybe we'll do some journalism over the offseason and we'll
That's
get on.
A top 5 Heat history along with the Gerald Green randomly disappearing as a Heat player.
I love end of the bench Heat lore. Bill Walker, Gerald Green, Mario Chalmers.
Wayne Simkin getting salmonella.
Dude, you can't beat that. Oh my god, I love like those end of the season games where it's like Michael Beasley and Henry Walker and Zoran Dragic balling out against Orlando. Yeah, dude.
8 points in the last 30 seconds. Oh my god.
It's that kind of shit, dude, that you remember forever, bro. It's that kind of shit that you.
What happened that year? Playoffs.
You take that shit to the grave, bro. You take that shit to the grave.
Listen, before you continue, I just want to let you know we've got a game against the Rockets. That's not going to be easy, right? But we've got 2 Brooklyn games.
It's at a weird time too. It's at 3:30 p.m. on a Saturday afternoon. Who scheduled that?
So the same person that made us take on Terry Rozier without letting us know what he was doing. But we do, for those of you who have not let go of the rope, who are too embarrassed to maybe appear in the chat because you don't want to appear like, a basketball infidel like me over here.
Oh, Amazon Prime game. I didn't even know that.
We have more games that that are winnable, that we should be winning. We are not out of the 6 seed race yet, and Bam is playing better, and hopefully Powell's not injured, and Tyler looked like he's kind of getting his win back and getting his footing again as well, which is great. And Spo is going to listen. Character wasn't built on a bed of roses. Like steel, it was forged in fire between a hammer and an anvil. G. This is the NBA.
I love they're so choony. They're insane. Before we go, did you see what the Atlanta Hawks are doing?
They're doing Magic City Day. Is there something like that?
Yes, they're selling Magic City merch. Nobody's moving like the Atlanta Hawks.
Bring your kids to the game.
If you're not familiar, if Chad is not familiar, the Atlanta Hawks is doing Magic City Monday for Hawks Magic, which is very funny because it's against the Magic. And they say, quote, Hawks to celebrate Atlanta's iconic cultural institution, Magic City. Now, if you don't know what Magic City is, Magic City is one of the premier strip clubs in America. It's famous. You may remember Lou Williams breaking quarantine in the Orlando bubble, going to a funeral, and then was caught at this strip club because apparently the Wings and I've corroborated this information with friends of mine from and in Atlanta, and they agree the Wings do move that way.
Yes, allegedly so.
Oh, allegedly from you?
Allegedly.
Okay.
I would not know.
Chad says, quote, cultural institution, and it's a club. Not just any club. It's a strip club.
It is. And I think that's just a great family, event to bring the kids to that day. Get your kid a Magic City shirt.
There are Magic City hoodies that I got to be honest with you. I think this is genius marketing by Atlanta. If I lived in Atlanta, I would need to go to that game to cop a Magic City hoodie because you know what that'll go for in 10 years?
Absolutely. And first of all, it's whoever the PR department for Magic City is, get them a raise because everyone's hitting Magic City that night, even if they're not supposed to.
What is the broadcast going to do? Could you imagine Eric Reed? It's Magic City Monday here in Miami.
Yeah, these sweatshirts are great.
Check out
got a
2
Magic
for 1
City situation.
Got a lap dance situation. Got a private room situation, Eric. What happens in the private room stays in the private room.
What happens in the private room? Bellissimo.
Talk about a switch bus in the private room, huh, Crotty?
Are you stroking it in the private room?
Chest to chest situation. Bust out dribble in the private room.
Oh my God! Listen, even if we do get worked by Houston, I don't think we will. I think that's a home game.
I love how you switched us back to basketball. You went right back into the Heat,
guys, because I can't let the podcast and I can't let everybody think that it's time to let go of the rope and we're just bullshitting on Miami Heat beat. No,
Chad just goes. The Gardner did it. Halftime performance is a teaser of the show. Listen, there's a lot.
Luscious is performing at the halftime.
There's a lot that can happen here. There's a lot that can happen. I'm glad. Listen, we started this show with the Bonnie Blue joke from chat, and now look at us. We're closing out with Magic City. Appreciate everybody out there for rocking with us today.
Thank you guys. Tuesday. Prize Picks. Thank you.
Thank you, Prize Picks.
Just in general.
Prize Picks didn't sponsor this episode, but we'll give Prize Picks a freebie. They'll be back. You'll be hearing from Prize Picks very soon, chat. Yeah, Charlotte, we're gonna be here on Monday. On Saturday. We're here on Saturday for Heat Rockets. That'll be a fun one. Kevin Durant, big good team. Appreciate you guys, and we'll see you Saturday.
Peace.